welcome to the WESolutions webinar on becoming a mental health nurse in the UK. Really pleased to have you all here. It's amazing. So I'm Rebecca, and I will be answering or helping answer your questions at the end. And then we've got Jasmine, who is our superstar RMN recruiter, and then we've got Nicole, who is our head of international nursing. So I will hand you over to Nicole to do the presentation. If you have got any questions, just raise your hand at the end, and we'll be able to answer them for you fully then. Over to you, Nicole.
Thanks, Bex. Hi, everybody. So happy to see you all. The purpose of today is just to give you guys a background about nursing in the UK, why come here, how to get here, what kind of job opportunities are available to you. So it's obviously a lot of information in a short space of time, so we'll just run through the details. But we'll be doing this regularly, and we'll be having follow-up webinars where we'll discuss some of this stuff in more detail. So for now, everybody's mics are muted, but at the end, we'll have an opportunity for anybody to ask any questions. So feel free to pop it in the chat in the meantime, in case you forget. And we'll go through those together at the end. So I shall get cracking with the presentation. Okay, Bex and Jasmine, is this visible?
Perfect.
Is it okay?
All good.
Excellent. So once again, guys, thank you all for joining us, and we'll be talking today about how you can become a mental health nurse in the UK. So first of all, as we said, welcome. We're really glad to have you all. What are we going to be covering today? So first of all, we'll look at who is WESolutions and what do we do. We'll be talking about the ethical recruitment guidelines that we as an agency need to adhere to. We'll be looking at why should you leave your sunny country and come to this cold place, the UK? What are the benefits of coming? Why go through all the hassle to get here? Who are the NMC? What are the requirements to join the NMC register? What is the process to register? What clients are there who could potentially be offering you jobs? In which locations do we have vacancies? And what our clients offer? Also, just a few words from candidates that we've placed in the past. And then finally, what are the next steps? Bex, I'm just thinking, are we recording this?
Yes, it's been recorded.
Perfect, excellent. And then at the end, we welcome any questions that we haven't covered, but hopefully we should cover most of your doubts in the presentation. So who is WESolutions? We're a recruitment agency that's been around for over 10 years. We specialize in recruiting international candidates to come to the UK. We do also help candidates who are already here but are looking for a change. So we recruit nurses, carers, allied health professionals. We've recruited doctors in the past, and we're looking at all other aspects like psychologists, social workers, because the business is steadily expanding. So we have two head offices. One is in Essex in England. The other one is in Gujarat in India. So as you can see, we're two offices with one heart. Isn't that the cheesiest thing you've ever seen in your life? So in terms of the ethical recruitment guidelines, we as an agency have to adhere to certain rules about recruitment. And one of the rules is that we may not assist in the placement of candidates who come from any of these countries. So if you're joining us today and you're currently a nurse in Nigeria, Zimbabwe, any other of these countries on the list, then unfortunately we as an agency are not allowed to place you. You can, however, approach employers directly. That is allowed, and we can obviously advise you on the steps, but we're not allowed to be part of that process. So unfortunately, we are restricted. If you're from a country that's not mentioned here, and it's not Kenya or Nepal, then we'd be happy to be able to help you with a placement. Then why should you want to come to the UK? I spent some time this week interviewing some of our RMNs who are already here to understand what it is that they like about living here, how has it been beneficial to them and their families. And this is some of the topics that they mentioned. So first of all, as you will all know, there's a huge demand for nurses in the UK right now, probably all of the world, but the UK is especially in need of mental health nurses. So there are lots of job opportunities. Because it's very competitive, the salaries on offer are very good. The UK is a safe place to live. Crime rates are really low. You can walk around at night at any time of the day without having to worry. There's a good network here in terms of, a stable electricity, internet is available all the time, running water. And I'm South African myself, and that's not something I can expect where I come from. But here in the UK, we always know that things work. If you have children who are at school, school age, primary school and high school is free in the UK, so that helps a lot. As we know, we have the National Health Service here, so we have a very good healthcare system and it's free. There's a good access to public transport, so trains, buses, trams, the underground. So unless you live somewhere quite rural, you don't have to own your own vehicle, you can easily get around. The cost of living is pretty affordable, and it's a good long-term option for you and your family. Then we're going to look at who is the NMC. So if you've looked at this before, if you've thought about coming to the UK, you will probably know about the NMC. They are the regulator for all nurses and midwives in the UK. They regulate, so they maintain a register of professionals eligible to practice. They also investigate any concerns. They support people who are on their register, and they influence. So the NMC speaks up for a healthy and inclusive working environment for their nurses. Then we're going to look at what is needed to be able to register with the NMC. So the first thing, and probably one of the biggest hurdles our candidates face, is you need to be able to prove that you can speak and write in English to a high level. So there are a couple of different ways of proving this. The first route is to take a language test. So that would either be IELTS or OET, and you have to achieve this score in order to pass the test. On the NMC's website, they also say that this is an option, that you must have completed your studies in English in the last 2 years. But we have never had success in this route. So I would say to disregard that and rather look at the language test. The third option is if you are lucky enough to come from one of these countries, which is most of the Caribbean, then you don't have to prove your language abilities. So you can completely ignore and disregard the IELTS or the language test. Once you're happy that you meet the NMC's requirements for English language, the next thing you need is to be able to evidence that you've done a nursing degree or diploma. It doesn't matter which of those you've done, as long as you're able to get registration in your home country, that is sufficient for the NMC. You need to prove that you're registered, and then you also need to have some working experience. It's not a must for the NMC that you have experience, but most clients would like to see that you've done at least a year of practice. So that's also what we would be looking for before we can offer an interview. So what is the process to register? So once you're happy that you've met all those things we mentioned in the last slide, you would start your NMC application. So the first thing you would do is you would attach evidence of your language proficiency. You would also have to attach proof of your registration and proof of your qualification. Then the NMC will review that, and if they're happy that you meet the criteria, they will issue you with an invitation letter inviting you to write your test of competence, which is done in a test center in your home country. That's called the CBT. It's an online multiple choice test, and it's something that WESolutions would be able to help you prepare for. Once you've done your CBT, you can then start the process of relocating to the UK. If you have met these criteria, we'd be happy to put you forward for an interview and secure employment for you. We would then request a certificate of sponsorship from your employer. Once we've got that, we will help you to do your visa application. When your visa is approved, you will then come to the UK and start working as a pre-registered nurse. This gives you time to, to settle in, to get to know the UK, and to prepare yourself for your second test of competence, which is done in the UK, and it's known as the OSCE. Once you've cleared your OSCE, you re-enter an NMC assessment, and they will then issue you with your PIN or your registration, and you're then a registered nurse in the UK, able to fully practice and able to earn a pinned nurse salary, which is, I think, what everybody's working towards. So I think we've already gone through that. So what types of employers are there in the UK? So there's the NHS, which is our National Health Service. There are many, many NHS mental health facilities throughout the country. Then there are private hospitals. So we recruit for one of them called the Priory Group, which has over 100 mental health facilities throughout the UK, covering everything from addiction to forensic units, to children and adolescents units, to secure settings, and so on. They cover a little bit of everything. We also have clients who are looking for mental health nurses to work predominantly with elderly patients. So that would be patients with dementia. So these are the different types of settings we usually have. And in terms of locations, we've got vacancies throughout most of the UK. So if you have some connections here and you have a preference, we will always try to find something in that area for you. Then what do the clients offer you? So apart from obviously a competitive salary, they will help you with a lot of your costs. So they will usually reimburse you for your language tests, cover your NMC registration fees, provide your certificate of sponsorship and your visa costs, arrange flights, airport transfer, and usually will accommodate you for the first few months. So that means that you don't have to worry about anything. Everything is taken care of for you. Your first few months in the UK is paid for, and thereafter you'll be earning your own money. We usually make sure that you're provided with a welcome pack, which is a SIM card, a travel plug, a food pack, bedding, crockery, cutlery, so that you can really settle in and be comfortable. Most employers will have OSCE training in-house. If not, they will use an outsourced company. So you can be confident that you will get a lot of support to be able to pass your OSCE exam. If you have a look at our Facebook page, you'll see that we've helped lots and lots and lots of nurses and carers come to the UK. So when you've got some free time over the weekend, you can have a read of all of that. But we're extremely proud of what we do and the support we can offer our candidates. And a lot of our nurses would say that we're more like a family to them. We have 378 five-star reviews. So what next? If you've already passed your language test, we'd love for you to book a call with one of our recruiters. We'll have a chat with you, understand what it is you're looking for and how we can help. If you've not done your CBT yet, we'll be happy to help you with that. We'll tell you about our current vacancies and then book you in for an interview and help you prepare for your big move. That's everything from my end. Appreciate that that was very quick, but hopefully that gives you a good idea of everything. So I'll hand back to you, Bex, to start
Yes,
looking
so
through some questions.
we have a couple of questions. We've answered a couple, but do we offer sponsorship for those who want to take the OET? So myself, I have started the NMC process and left with OSCE to get my NMC pin. Also passed my mental health CBT exam, but only the OET is standing in my way. So can we? I think what? Oh, I've lost it. Bear with. What's the process for someone that hasn't yet received the OET? Like when can they? We're not able to offer any support, are we, with regards to the language testing? But we can advise on places to go. Is that right?
Yeah, we'd be happy to register the candidate at this stage. And once they have cleared their language test, we'll be able to offer them an interview.
Lovely. And do I need a language test even if I'm from South Africa?
Yes, you do, unfortunately. Even though English is the predominant language, you would still need to prove. So you could take either IELTS or OET.
Lovely. And roughly how long does it take for a visa to be processed?
So once you attend your visa appointment, there are two options. You can either do a standard visa, which takes 15 working days, so let's say roughly a month, or you can do a priority visa, which is 5 working days.
So really quick, that's brilliant. Yeah, so what we'll do after this is we'll send out an email so that everybody who wants to find out more and book a call with one of the resourcing specialists can get registered, and we can get working on a new position for you. So yes, once you have passed your OET, we'll be able to help you get interviews and fingers crossed a new role in the UK. If a candidate's pregnant, that is okay. She can move or get a job easily. If a candidate is pregnant, it is more difficult to get you a position in the UK just because um, once you arrive, depending on how long you're pregnant for, you're gonna you might not be in that position for very long. So obviously that is something that you would need to disclose. Um, anything further to add on that, Jasmine and Nicole?
We would usually recommend that if you're pregnant at the point of interview, that you wait to have your baby back home before you come to the UK, because childcare costs in the UK are extremely expensive. So you might find that it makes more sense for you to stay home where you've got family support and then either wait until the child is older or some people opt to leave the child with family and bring them across later. But what we don't want is for you to come here and be stranded with no family support.
Perfect. Why can't the NMC consider a lower down school? I think we all ask this question, but it is sadly just because obviously what you're doing, you need to be able to communicate with the public, and also understanding the language when it comes to say medication and things like that. They obviously have just created the school that they feel that meets that requirement. It is possible to apply from Morocco. Is that correct, ladies? Yeah. Then we've got a written IELTS and adult CBT. I don't mind switching to mental health CBT, but I'm Nigerian and reside in Nigeria. At the moment, Nigeria is on the red list, isn't it? Yeah, so sadly, we wouldn't be able to find you a new position in the UK. But obviously the red list does change quite regularly. So if you're happy for us to keep your details, we can keep you updated with regards to that. We'd love to help you, but sadly, just because of the government guidelines, we're restricted. Mm, mm, mm.
But you can still apply directly on your own. You could go to, for example, NHS jobs and just search by mental health nursing vacancies and then apply directly to the trust.
Yeah, perfect. Sadly, we can't help with any agencies that are able to take from the red list. But as Nicole just said, you can apply directly to the NHS trusts, or any other employer in the UK. Just agencies, we do have a we do have the restrictions of why we can't do that. So no, we don't just offer mental health. We do pretty much everything within healthcare. So we offer healthcare assistants. We do just general registered nurses, theatre nurses, scrub nurses, allied health professionals. Um, the list is endless, really. So whatever it is, whatever skills you have, we'd love to hear from you. Love to see CV, and we can help you with that. Um, then Venolia, I'm not sure what you mean. It says, are you supporting the Plus Trust? Um, I was recruited and they said I don't need the OET test. If you can just maybe clarify what you mean in another message, that'd be really helpful. Okay, you've sent your resume, but you're waiting for a response regarding the English test. Unless you come from a exempt English language speaking country, you will be required to do the English language test. So as Nicole said, that's Caribbean countries, Canada, US. I think there was a couple of others on there as well. Nurses from Pakistan. Pakistan is on the red list, sadly. So we would not be able to help you directly, but as we said, you can apply to the trust directly. Experience is considered, absolutely. The more experience, the better. Even if you have an interest in mental health, if you're a registered nurse and you have an interest in mental health nursing, that would also be possible. Leon, we'll have a look for your application and we'll get back to you. Hopefully somebody will be able to get back in touch with you today with regards to what's going on there. Nicole, how many years experience do you need to have as a registered nurse or mental health nurse?
One is ideal. One is the minimum, shall I say, and anything more than that is preferable.
Super. We don't assist with the relocation of pets, as far as I'm aware. We can help with dependence visas for your children or your partner, but pets is something that you would have to organise yourself. Um, so if you're already in the UK, we do have clients that would be willing to interview. So that's absolutely a potential. Then waiting for OET results. Is it possible that I get supported with initiating NMC registration whilst awaiting OET results? Ladies?
Des, I'll let you answer this one.
So, we would, as we said, we would be happy to register you, but we will not be really able to arrange the interviews unless we receive the OET result. So, yes, NMC having done that will definitely increase your speed and have better chances at getting shortlisted for the interview. But that would only be possible once you have passed the OET with the required score. And to add on to the requirement of the score into IELTS and OET, NMC has recently updated a new requirement into that, that if you have missed your IELTS or OET score by zero point 0.5 or half a grade in OET, you can still go ahead with that result, and you can just provide a supporting document from your employer stating that you were competent enough in your English language. So if you have just nearly missed your IELTS or OET score with just zero point 0.5 in IELTS or half a grade in OET, you still stand a chance with that score, and you do not have to reappear for your IELTS or OET.
Excellent,
Good
lovely,
point.
thank you. Yes, South Africa, you can apply freely, that's absolutely fine. Children nursing, yeah, we do have clients that would look for children's nurses, so 100% happy for us, if you're happy for us to get in touch with you, then we'd love to have that chat. We do recruit overseas healthcare assistants. South Africa isn't a red listed country. Yes, we also work with midwives. So healthcare assistants, yeah, they ideally some experience, because you will be administering like personal care and things like that. So just some experience of working with people in that capacity would be helpful. Then if you're based in Jamaica but you're Nigerian, that's fine because you're coming from a different country. So that's absolutely fine. And then same with if you're um Pakistani, if you're born in Pakistan but you're living and working in the UAE, again, that's absolutely fine. So it's the country that you reside in. So that's fine. Yeah, you can change from general nursing to mental health nursing, if you're presently working in the UK. Also, some of our clients, I believe, Nicole, that they just say if you've got an interest in mental health nursing, that's okay.
Yeah.
Super. I didn't realise we are going to have so many questions. It's amazing. There we go. With regards to breaks, Tanisha, Nicole, do you want to shed some light on breaks in career?
We'd be happy to see your CV and see how we could help.
Perfect. Yes, we do recruit HCAs, registered nurse in Sri Lanka. Is Sri Lanka on the red list?
No.
No. Cool. Sri Lanka's
No.
fine. I believe the IELTS scores of 6.5 depends on which area that is in, doesn't it? So we'll send out the
Yeah.
slides anyway and the recording so everyone can double check. Okay, Goldfield. So absolutely happy to have a chat with you regarding some opportunities. Again, like we said, an interest in mental health nursing. You don't have to dual qualify to be a mental health nurse. So yeah, we can have a chat with you about that. Yeah, we'll send the list of exempt countries from the English test. Yep, you're able to come with your children, and we can help with dependence visas. So again, we can send out some more information about that. As
We
a registered
do have,
nurse, oh sorry.
sorry, Bex. I was just going to say that what we've found with other candidates is it's better if you can come on your own at first,
Mhm.
get yourself settled in the UK, get through your OSCE, get your PIN, start earning your higher salary, and then arranging for your families to come. And the main reason for that is it's quite difficult to find accommodation that's big enough for a family because you have to prove that you can afford the rent, and you would struggle to prove that when you're on your pre-registered nurse salary. It also means that it almost never happens, but if you were unsuccessful in passing your OSCE on 3 attempts, you would not be able to stay in the country. So if you'd brought your whole family over and you all had to go home, it would be a big hassle.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Thank you for that. As a registered nurse from Nigeria in the UK, yeah, again, so it's the interest in mental health nursing. So Naomi, we can have that discussion with you. That's not a problem. We'll get in touch with you directly. Orleen, if you take care of your grandson, he would qualify for free schooling. But as Nicole just said, it might be better to wait until you've passed your OSCE and are settled in the UK before bringing him over.
Also, in terms of a visa, you can have a dependence visa, which is for a spouse and your children, but I don't believe a grandson or a grandchild would qualify as a dependent. So you just have to look into whether you could achieve a visa for him.
Cool. That's something that again we're happy to send a bit of info over to you about that. So 1 year experience. Do we have any band free vacancies? We're at UK NARIC.
We do have care vacancies.
Super. Ghana is currently on the red list, but obviously again we can keep you up to date with that. I'm from red list country. So again, with regards to red list countries, you can apply directly to the trust or the company, but sadly, as a recruiter and agency, we wouldn't be able to support you. But we can keep you up to date with any changes in that red list. Then so accepting nurses without any hospital experience, only been working as a community nurse for 8 years. How would our clients work with that? Would that be possible?
I would say so, because community nursing would still be bedside nursing experience. So I think we can work with that.
Oh, I think we've got through, answered a few of these.
Ethiopia is on the red list, and so is Burundi.
Okay, cool. There's no age limit at all. We welcome anyone from obviously the legal age of 18 to however old. There's no restrictions on that at all. We will send you a reference number. We do have some clients that we work with in Northern Ireland, so absolutely we can help you there. Namibia, that's on the red list, is it?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So band score of 6 overall. We'll send across all the limits and things for IELTS, and just so that everyone's kind of clear. Oh, lovely. A Zimbabwean in South Africa, you can apply because you're residing in South Africa. Work in York, yeah, we've got clients in York. So I'm just trying to read through any that we haven't covered. Yeah, if you're already in the UK as a registered nurse, again, we can help with some care work. We've also got a locums team as well, which do temporary care roles. So that's something that we can send out to you. Right. Okay, yeah, Philippines. Are you living in the Philippines, Michelle, or are you just are you located in the UK already? Just because there are licenses attached to recruiting from the Philippines. Yeah, we will give everybody the information, and we'll get in touch with everybody as well after this meeting, just to kind of say, if you'd like to book a chat with one of our specialists, we'll get you registered and we'll get moving from there. I think we've kind of covered all of the other questions. So anything from you guys at all? Anything you want to add?
Maybe just to manage everybody's expectations, we will need a little bit of time to get back to everybody. So if you haven't heard from us today, don't panic. It might be next week when we get back to everybody.
Yeah, perfect. And then we'll obviously there's quite a few of you that have attended, so we will book in the calls as soon as we possibly can, and we'll just get back to we'll send out everybody the details of how to get in contact with us, where to send your CVs, and also the recording and slides from today's meeting. So hopefully you can have a good look through. If there's anything that you've missed or you want to find out more, then we can definitely get that covered.
Yes, and in the meantime, after the webinar, if you are certain that you are eligible for the process, we are sharing the job post link with you, so you can directly apply over there, and we will know, and we'll get in touch with you with that. So link is there. You can directly apply for the mental health job over that, and we'll get in touch with you shortly next week.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jasmine and Nicole. Really helpful. And thank you everybody for attending. Hopefully we'll see you in the UK soon. Take care. Thank you.